조던 피터슨, 벤 샤피로를 포함한 여러 보수 인플루언서들은 이렇게 말합니다.
When Jordan says that if you're 40 and single, you're blowing it, he is cutting directly against the grain of all current conventional wisdom, which is the best thing that you could do is delay marriage until you make associate at the law firm working 2,200 hours.
Well, now they say grow up and then get married. And in the past, they said get married and grow up.
So that you can grow.
What you talked about growing up in a marriage is doubly important because you're growing up with a woman.
It's kind of like is marriage the cornerstone of adulthood or the capstone? And the advantage to it being the cornerstone of young adulthood is that, as you said, you're building a life together, an existence together, as opposed to let's get married when we're 35 or 40, and now I have all of my own stuff.
Yes, that's right.
Everything is mine. I have my own life, my own money. This is all mine. And now you are coming into this thing that I have built without you.
And by the way, all your own experiences and all the crap from your past, right, which you see really break up marriages.
저희 채널의 구독자분들과 벤 샤피로, 조던 피터슨 교수의 영상을 꾸준히 보신 분들이라면 이런 이야기가 상당히 익숙하실 겁니다. 결혼 생활은 완전한 합의이며 함께 성장해 나가는 과정이고 또 자신을 성장시키는 과정이라고요. 그런데 보고 나면 이런 찝찝한 의문이 생깁니다. 과연 어떤 사람이 성장하기 전에 나와 만나서 결혼하려 할까? 특히 남성이라면 더 그럴 겁니다. 왜냐하면 피터슨 교수는 줄곧 여성이 자신보다 사회적 지위가 높은 남성과 교제하는 경향이 있음을, 그리고 그 남성은 자신감 있고 관대하며 생산적이면서도 유능한 남성이라고 말해왔기 때문입니다. 그렇기 때문에 일찍 결혼하라는 조언과 성장하라는 조언은 얼핏 보기에 서로 어긋나는 것 같습니다.
First of all, no one likes young men, so if women don't like you, it's like, well, that's par for the course. Who likes young men? No one. Why? Well, they're basically troublesome and useless, and so that's why. So cross-culturally, women like men who are about 4 years older than them. And the reason for that is, women are more vulnerable on the sexual front, and they have to make themselves even more vulnerable if they have children, especially when the children are infants.
현재 대학을 다니고 있거나 많은 것을 갖지 못한 젊은 남성은 어떻게 결혼까지 이어지는 만남을 이룰 수 있을까요? 조던 피터슨 교수는 그 힌트를 미녀와 야수를 통해 우리에게 설명합니다.
Well, what I really liked about Beauty and the Beast, and I do think that's the best Disney movie ever made, was that it's a real female hero myth. I mean, the woman, Beauty, is beautiful, so she's high up in the female dominance hierarchy, but she's witty and well-read and intelligent and adventurous and brave and courageous and truthful, all of that. And she doesn't fall for Gaston, the psychopathic persona. And young women are much more likely to fall for men like that, by the way, than women who are slightly more, what would you say?
Mature.
Wiser. So they'll fall for dark triad men, and that's partly how psychopathy propagates itself across the generations. Right? They can be enticed by psychopathic personas. But she prefers the Beast. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, the Beast is the adventure. It's like, well, is this terrible man? Like he's rough, he's unhued, but he's got potential, right? And that's what really attracts her. And she wants someone who can guard the walls and make a safe haven for the children, but who's generous enough who's productive enough to be useful and generous enough to share. Mm-hmm. And so she civilizes him. And that's, you say, well, that's the female hero myth. It's like the civilizing of men is the female hero myth. And the civilizing of nature, in some sense, is the male hero myth.
Young women are more likely to fall for narcissistic psychopaths. And the reason for that is they can't tell them from competent men. Because narcissistic psychopaths imitate competence. And that's their niche. And so they have a confidence that isn't justified by their ability. But the women check out the confidence as a marker of ability, and the falsely confident can fool them. Especially if they're young and naive.
조던 피터슨의 말을 빌리자면 여성적 영웅에 해당하는 여성인 벨은 게스톤이 아닌 야수를 선택합니다. 왜냐하면 벨은 야수에게서 가능성을 보았기 때문입니다. 남성의 진정성 있는 메시지를 알아보는 것이죠. 재미있는 점은 야수 또한 한때는 게스톤과 같이 오만하고 자신의 잘난 모습에 취해 살던 인물이었다는 것입니다. 하지만 마법에 걸려 벨과 사랑에 빠지고 나오는 과정을 거치면서 그는 자신의 공격성을 다루고 성숙해지는 법을 배우게 되었죠. 이는 피터슨이 평소에 말하는 남성상에 대한 이미지와 완전히 겹칩니다. 피터슨은 위험하지 않은 남성보다는 공격적인 남성이 낫고, 공격성을 그대로 드러내는 남성보단 공격성을 가지고 있지만 통제할 줄 아는 남성이 낫다고 말합니다. 왜냐하면 공격성은 필요하기 때문이죠.
But the basic plot is that the woman encounters this mysterious and aggressive male and tames him. That's the female hero myth, as far as I can tell. It's Beauty and the Beast. And so it's because, well, there's no fun in taming someone who's already tame. And what makes you think you really want someone who's tame anyways? There's no interest in that. Plus, when chaos manifests itself, what makes you think that someone tame is going to be good for anything? And it's a real question, and so that aggression is absolutely vital, it's absolutely necessary. But because it's incredibly dangerous, which of course it has to be civilized.
그런데 이런 도식은 니체가 말하는 정신의 세 가지 단계와도 같습니다. 먼저 공격성이 전혀 없는 의존하고 순종하는 낙타의 단계를 우리는 경험합니다. 기존의 규범과 간섭에 순순히 응하고 복종하죠. 이는 삶의 가장 기본적인 전제가 되며 인내를 배우게 됩니다. 하지만 한편으로는 구속된 상태이죠. 이러한 상태에서 사자의 단계로 성장하게 되면 규범에 대한 반항을 하게 됩니다. 공격적이고 기존 가치를 부정하는 반항의 단계이죠. 여기서는 자유로운 의지가 생겨납니다. 이는 게스톤 그리고 야수의 왕자 시절 모습에서 드러나는 자기중심적인 나쁜 남자의 전형이죠. 하지만 사자의 단계가 끝은 아닙니다. 가치를 파괴하기만 해서는 아무것도 남는 것이 없기 때문입니다. 인간은 이제 순한 어린아이의 단계로 나아가게 되죠. 어린아이는 자신을 긍정하고 가치를 만들어내는 순전한 존재입니다. 이것이 니체가 말하는 궁극적인 초인이며 피터슨이 말하는 공격성을 통제하는 개인, 그리고 벨을 만나 감화된 야수입니다. 이건 어떤 의미에서는 노블레스 오블리주, 강자의 여유겠죠. 이제 이 이야기들의 메시지를 읽었으니 오늘 영상의 주제에 대해 답을 해봅시다.
One of the questions I've been asked quite repeatedly on the last tour is, how do I find the person who's right for me on social media dating platforms or just in the general world? And I don't know how to answer that question. Like, how do you find the person that's right for you? But I can say, generically, that's not a good question. It's the wrong question. And if you pose the question like that, you will not find an answer. The right question is, how can I make myself into the most attractive possible mating possibility? With young men, a huge part of the answer to that is clean up your room, put your life in order.
Make your bed.
Yeah, start there at least. But what you're aiming at is highly productive generosity with some spine, right? Because if you're generous and productive, you can be taken advantage of. So you have to be able to say no.
자신의 긍정적인 미래를 믿고 자신의 길에 확신을 가진 채로 가능성을 세상에 드러내세요. 먼저 능력과 의지를 기르고 자신을 통제할 수 있는 성숙한 개인이 되려고 노력하세요. 확실하지 않은 뻔한 대답 같지만 이것이 진실입니다. 불확실함은 미래의 본래적 성질입니다. 희망을 품고 자신을 믿고 긍정하며 나아가는 사람에게는 불투명한 미래 속에서도 길은 언제나 주어집니다. 그러면 여러분과 같이 가치를 긍정하며 함께 성장해갈 다른 사람이 곁에서 함께 걸어가게 되겠죠. 지금 결단하고 지금 움직이세요. 그리고 지금 걸어가세요. 바른말 오른말이었습니다.
Yeah, so look, if you're a young guy, it's like straighten yourself up, don't be eating, Cheetos in the basement, covering yourself with orange dust and being bitter about women. It's like go out there and make yourself useful in some dimension or rather, and fortify yourself a bit and have some confidence, and then figure out how to present yourself in a manner commensurate with that, and get out there in the world so people can see you now and then, and some poor woman will be desperate enough to give you a shot at some point. All right. That's how I caught her, Actually, that's a lie too, because she actually caught me. So, all right. Yeah, I chased her for a long time, and then she caught me. Yeah. Okay. Before I say something else.